and Beauty Fruity and GGVV himself pushing up here. They gotta be careful. There's an overwhelming number of tanks from the side of Grupa Speed. Jordan takes a big one behind it as well, gets set on fire to lower his HP. 2k lead still for Grupa Speed. And now they have the angles on Beauty Fruity to push him back into the window, though, Kihan, and it's not looking that good for this team.
Yeah, GDVV now trailing by 2k HP as they seem to have the overmatch regarding guns just about everywhere. Good trades back by the IS-4 though. That is sort of being relegated to staying in that position where he can't really get out of. Sisa trying to make a play onto Elian. He does connect his shot. Marcel not really able to give one. Instead it's going to be Miku with a big one into the side of Sisa. Elian having to make a run for it now as GG with another good shot but dropping down towards a one shot. Lexa not really able to have a say in these matters. Now look here, peeking from the side onto Gursky. This is all over the place, but Grupa right now with the higher HP, with the better amount of guns, 6 versus 5 here right now. GDVV, they've got their work cut out for them. Victor is now going to engage against Elian. He is going to put a big one in, but Marcel with that kind of HP, he can just make the cross and force Victor to stop that engagement. Just dead in its tracks. Oh, missed by Gursky onto Victor though.
Yeah, missed by Gursky onto Victor, who's going to survive. Now Loki is going to use this timing to actually peek Gursky. Cross back over as well. Loki is going to survive. Beauty Fruity now peeking out against Jordan. If he makes the kill here onto that one-shot IS-4, he does actually pick it up. It's a 5v4 now. Sokol still with 474 HP. However, 474 HP is a one-shot to the AMX M4 if he peeks out. Lexa is going to be bouncing it actually. Sokol survives on a slither of HP, but Sisa from the back lines shuts it down. Beauty now driving down on towards Miku, but the HP for GDVV is so low at this moment in time.
Yeah, the HP really, really bad currently for GDVV, especially considering Lexa is on 451 and Lokir is on 126. Those are both one-shots for every single tank remaining on the Grupa lineup. Even Sisa has to be careful because Marcel is now starting to push up, taking a hit by Lexa, is now also going to take one by Sisa here. So the HP starting to not even out, but they're edging ever closer together. Lokir on the big rotation, but Lexa getting picked up by Miku is huge at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened there, that he got picked up Lexa. I think he was watching towards Marcel and Miku just with the superior peak. Now Marcel pushing up in that E100 is going to be picking up Sisa. He should not miss in this. I don't think Marcel ever misses this a day in his life. Maybe today is that day though, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sisa there does not connect. Marcel low rolling though. Elian actually missing the shot, so Sisa is going to survive for a little bit longer. But he's getting absolutely manhandled by this C100. Cannot get past him, Marcel. Just an unmovable fortress. He cannot go past him, rams him to death without intention. Beauty Fruity now against Miku as well. And at the end of the day, it's going to be Grupa Speed that is actually going to be winning this match as Marcel closes it out in a tiebreaker for the third match in a row, which also means that we'll have to say goodbye to GDVV. But what a remontada that they made. Sadly, this one fallen just short.
Yeah, Grupa Speed by the nick of time able to pull it over that finish line with their defense on Himmelsdorf. And you really thought, like, those trades in the 8 line, they were, you really thought they were going better for Grupa Speed, but in the end I think it was the time that it took for GDVV to take out that IS-4, right?
Forever.
He was alive for such a long time. I think the only tank that was really able to deal punishment onto him was the CS actually, and that's probably why it took so long. And yeah, in the end, the higher amount of HP, and that also that the E100 was at the end, he had so much HP, he could just go somewhere. Yeah, I take a shot on the cross, I don't care, I'm just gonna eliminate gun after gun and after gun. And you also have to mention that crucial kill by Miku. When it was almost all over, he basically sealed the deal with a kill shot onto one of the GDVV players. So Grupa Speed able to stay alive in the tournament, playing a grand total of 14 games today.
Yeah. That's a lot of games, but you know, they made it through. That's all that matters.
Exactly. And I think this, in turn, then, was, for the moment, quite enough from the two of us. Let's see what the analysts have to say about this.
Thanks a lot, guys, and that's it for the third match of the day. And once again, Octo a tiebreaker, and this time Grupa Speed taking the victory 4-3 over GDV1, the Ukrainian team. That was a close match.
Yeah, they definitely made it interesting. The MVY picks providing Kehan with a hilarious joke in the beginning of that. But Grupa's going to move on, and GDV's out, sadly. Hopefully we'll see them next time. So then the Postro and Phoenix, winner of that, will play Grupa tomorrow. And Haloaniti and Opor will also be tomorrow.
So yeah, like you mentioned, we will have winners and losers bracket, a match to start tomorrow. But before that, we have to cover the final match of the day to know who Grupa is going to be facing in the match number 6 match of tomorrow. Postro versus Phoenix. Phoenix, they were third in their group, the only international team we have in this tournament. They have players that are not possibly the strongest, but they have always kind of made it into that stage of the tournament, and they always had ideas to play.
Yeah, and they're the last remaining non-Polish team, right? So gotta represent.
All right, that being said, I think the replays of the past match are going to be ready shortly. We have the first map, which was Mines, and like you mentioned, we had a pretty interesting lineup from the side of GD VV1 M5Y.
Yeah, I guess they chose it because it got there before the M4s could bleed them in the middle. But besides that, it doesn't really do much else. I think they were using the small gun for the DPM, but it doesn't trade well. It's like, do you know the Alpha?
I mean, it's if you have the small gun, it's 360. Otherwise, it's 400.
So yeah, 360 versus 560 on the M4s is really hard. And then they're trying to reset here, and the TVP is hiding behind a dead mouse. They wasted an entire tank. Here comes a desperate attempt, and doesn't really work out there. But you know, it happens to us all.
Yeah, well, good stuff from Antonis to just bring entertainment for the stream with his diving there. That's not a swimming pool, but that's fine. And next up, we had the Grupa Speed in the attack, and they actually proposed something interesting because the way they pushed, I mean, they didn't avoid the shots from the E4s. Both E4 got a shot out, but then they made it all the way to the one line and then forced GD VV1 for a reaction. As you can see, the push, you'll see the double miss from the E4, just a critical hit on 277 side. Good stuff then from Grupa with this push, making it, winning the 1-2 lines, and then holding strong on the middle.
Yeah, bringing an E4 kind of makes it hard to hold on lines just because after a crossing or whatever, it doesn't really add much to the gameplay. So having two of them makes it really difficult, especially when both of them miss. But it also was smart. They noticed the IS-7 and the E5 were focused on the IS-4 in the cap circle, so they were able to take less bleed potentially crossing the 2-line there.
Next up, we had Tundra Grupa Speed with the 2-0 lead, this time on the attack, GD VV1 on the defense. And you could see that Jordan managed to get a pretty forward position for free.
Yeah, once you get in here, you can pretty much take the whole map away from the defense because you can shoot into A3, you can shoot into C3 if the guy messes up. It sort of forces the defense to repush into this, but yeah. The E5 is a little too far up, so he's going to get picked here, but there's a minnow 1v1 in the middle there at D5. Yeah. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, then they're going to have to cap if they want to win this. It's very close, so it's very interesting. I don't know why it came down to this, but
I mean, it was a very close round, and you could see from the side of Grupa Speed the Escon closing up at the G line, which was probably a mistake. And at the end, even though GDVV had only like 1 shot or 2 shots, they had all of those guns alive with the 560 Alpha on the AMX. That made the difference, but you could see at the end, the last pick from Sokol, it was 1 shot against 1 shot.
Yeah. And Miss Minnow shot that round, actually lost on that game.
Possibly.
But, so yeah, you have the IS-7s going up into the F-line again. The same thing as the other attack just did. They're going to go and try to kill this VZ while the bad chat the UDES is going to go and try and shoot these IS-7, so the Batchet's waiting for the UDES. Whatever tank is in the K line, he wants to bleed him in return. The Minnow is just playing against the M4 in the center, but they're going to pick up this VZ pretty much for free, and Twist here making a mistake and clipped out by the Batchet.
I think that the Mino also made a mistake there to close up and allow the tanks from Group of Speed to pick him up. And afterwards, the UDES, he took initially 2 shots from the Batchet. He was then chased. He got killed. He tried to run away, so he didn't make any damage. That opened the opportunity to GDVV to just trigger the cap, forcing the tanks from Group of Speed to come back over the one line. But you could see the pressure forced them out. Then they just had to pick and take the kills. So good stuff, taking the victory in the second Tundra round. And then starting on Ghost Town, this opening from Group of Speed, Daki mentioned it. Huge mistake from the side of Miku, actually going for the outside, but not on the upper position.
Yeah, normally it's probably a color mistake not telling him to go up high, because if he plays up high, normally he'll be a lot more safe than that. Especially against double CS, I don't know why they risked that. But here they're gonna Antonis, I don't know how to pronounce
Antonis,
that.
Yeah.
He didn't move early on, so the S-Conk got around him, so he was forced to push onto the cap circle, and because of that, his team followed him on, and they ended up winning though with the brawl. So I guess it didn't matter because they got the M4 out so early with almost no bleed. So
I think what happened is Grupa, they tried to compensate the fact that those tanks from GDVV were out of post to trigger the cap straight, but you could see the reaction, like they just followed Antonis. Antonis was the first one. Maybe it was even like a bit early to enter the cap where he did to just shoot those tanks. He had his teammate that followed him, but just like this tank advantage that they had early, that helped so much that it didn't matter. They just took that overmatch, they got the kills, and they won their defense. But next up on the attack, that was very awkward, because you had all of those 3 tanks kind of locked into this position without the possibility to do much, because that's CS at the raid line over K3. He's being covered by double, triple S-Conk, and he forced GDVV to actually go for a push with the mouse combined with the K-line push, and they did not trade well for it.
And they're watching too many NA replays with the Progetto pick, but didn't work out this time. I guess it's not the same. But yeah, the mice are not able to really push into this, as the S-Con can play hold down there. Miku can side scrape. I don't really know why he's poking like that, but doesn't really matter. The CS and J2 should die here to the S-Conks, and yeah, it's pretty much just over. I don't know why they committed 3 tanks up into K4 and pretty much just decided to sit there for the whole game. I think it would have been much better just to use that M4 for something else, but hindsight. So
yeah, it was definitely not needed there. And the final round, the tiebreaker on Himmelsdorf, we had GDVV actually committing on the banana with Antonis, and he got caught. In return, they actually managed to get the kill on the IS4, so it's kind of a 1-for-1 trade. But position-wise, you could see the CS from Vic very committed here, and you have to keep in mind that Grupa is on the defense, GDVV on the attack, and the way they are split it actually allows Grupa to keep going aggressive over the banana.
Yeah, because they took so long killing that IS4, they didn't bleed them crossing the 8 line very much. And also another thing, the heavies in the the G line survived for so long because Grupa didn't take the windows and just bleed them for it. So I didn't really understand that play, and they made it way closer than they really needed to. But yeah, with the E100 here in the end, he has all the HP, so it's pretty much just over. Unless they have a miracle, Amarek or Fire or something, that 277 can't leave. The 2500 HP E100s trolls this 277 essentially.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward to play then from the side of Grupa Speed. They were on the defense and they were wanting down, but they didn't actually wait. They managed to get the kill, I think, on Lexa in the window, which was really good, because then they could just push up the 800 over the 3 line, get the kill on 277, catch the IS4, and to finish low gear in the AMX. They were on defense, they had double the HP, they were wanting down, but they had a great position to hold on. So good stuff, and good win from the side of Grupa Speed, moving into the next round of the losers bracket, and they're going to be facing either post-draw, either Phoenix, which is the next and the final match of the day. So the question is the following one: are we gonna have 4 Polish teams facing each other tomorrow? We're gonna have to see if Phoenix can take the victory and keep hopes for having a European slash international team alive in the tournament.
Let's go, Frugo.
And Octo, to introduce that final match of the day, once again, it's going to be the time for our casters to say what they have to say. We want to hear that. So let's get back to the casting desk.
Hello there and welcome back one last time today during the AMD WoT7 number 9 tournament, and we are going to be casting now the last match of the day, which is going to be a team that we haven't seen so far. It is an international team under their captain Atiquel from the Quell family, and he's going to have some very international backup for his team, and they're going to be battling it out with the Bananas. Once again, Pozdro Pochvich. We saw them lose earlier today in tiebreaker, so they're going to be hungry for revenge. They don't want to drop out of this tournament, basically losing 2 matches in a row. So high stakes for either team, as this is the lower bracket. Losing here would mean, yeah, tournament elimination.
Yeah, lower bracket, no second chances for Phoenix, but that is also because they just didn't perform that well in the group stage. Interesting lineup there for that team. International one coming in. We saw Postro already. They had a good showing, I think, against the Poor, but something's just not going their way.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, if you go to tiebreaker, it is sort of anyone's match in a best of 5, because you've both played on a map that you picked, then you've played on the 3rd map even, and you had to go to overtime. Cliff, once again, not being picked here, instead immediately burned by Pozdro. Then Ghost Town, kind of understandable by Phoenix, not really wanting to play Ghost Town against Pozdro. Prokhorovka then being picked up, so first time today we're gonna see that. Mines to follow it up. Steps being taken out, then Murovanka possibly for map 3, and tiebreaker being played on Tundra if it comes to it.
Proko, haven't seen it yet today, so that's an interesting one. Mayans is always an interesting one in terms of how the teams play it, and especially if it's GDVV apparently. And Moro, tiebreaker Tundra, good set of maps. I'm most curious what Proko will bring. Because there's a lot of styles that work on Proko, and a lot of plays that work.
Yeah, especially considering that the post-draw guys are basically Invil players, and we all know how Invil, also in 15v15, likes to play Proko. They sometimes ditch the lights completely. That isn't as possible in 7v7, because you just cannot pick like 15 tanks and just go full-out combat, all aggression. Instead, most of the time you're better off picking like a T100 to just generate that passive map control by having that light tank, and even better, if the enemy team doesn't have one, then, well, 1-2 line is yours.
Yeah, exactly. So, caster predictions. Octo, bro, that is Frugo bias, man. Frugo bias.
I mean, yeah.
He's not from NA, bro. He doesn't know your name. But yeah, then Kihan and Insane going for 4-2 for Pozdro, and me myself for 4-1 for Pozdro.
All right, so yeah, something playing into Octo's predictions here. Maybe he does. Maybe he just knows something we don't. Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. You're looking for too far.
Or maybe the other way around. Maybe he's missing something that we know. Anyway, Phoenix coming in, triple IS7, double S-Conk, 1CS, T100.
Pozdro in return, double 277, double IS7, an S-Conk, CS, and the T100 as well.
So basically, Yeah, I mean, an IS-7 and
same.
an S-Conk being
Almost
traded
the same.
for W277, but almost the same. We can agree on that one. And now it remains to be seen who's actually going to be attacking on this one. Because, well, what lineup would you consider to be... Okay, Pozdro gonna be attacking with W277. I guess that's a bit better for pushing because you're slightly faster. Double S-Conk is better for holding, obviously, on the defensive side. Slight HP advantage for Phoenix to start it off, but to be honest, not really anything to write home about. Kono and Itox exchanging spots. Horse taking one by the T100, so good stuff by Kono. At the beginning of the game, and immediately Kono there with all the information he could ever want. Like, he just knows now that there is no one east.
I love this on Pozdro.
That is...
I love this. It's so fast, so aggressive, and catching Phoenix, still pushing down 1-2 with the triple IS-7. Ideally, the cap gets started immediately here by 1 or 2 tanks, and then it's going to be S-Kunk's having to retake while the IS-7s are still pushing down 1-2. Yeah, the S-Kunk is spotted from Fed in 1-2, but he should be doing at least 1-2k damage, and the cap will not be slowing down here.
No, the cap is not going to slow. Instead, it might pick up the pace if the second 277 actually joins, but it seems to have gone to A6, so kind of slow cap here. But Frugo taking a truck ton of damage there in the 1-2 line. The S-Kong really putting on the hurt, and you can see he hasn't even taken any damage yet. The IS-7s just need to cross so much open ground until they're there. He's just able to put in so many shots. Finally, they have reached him, and he's obviously going to focus on the lower HP enemy. That is the correct play to do. He's never expected
the cap,
to survive, but yeah, cap 20 seconds almost remaining.
Yeah, cap 20 seconds remaining, and White Rock is just not making this whatsoever. Conrad has decided that he's trading it out in the middle, which I actually respect, because otherwise he would be going down and not doing really anything anyway. So he's just like, I'm going to do my damage while I can. If I die, I die. Fed actually kills Frugo as well. Conrad falls to Itox. Attila picks up Fed, but the cap's over. The game's over. It's Pozdro picks it up in spectacular 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So we already know if it comes to tiebreaker who's taking that. Impressive stuff from Pozdro. Very fast, very aggressive, reading Phoenix like a book, really, and having all the positions to deal with this. The S-Kunk in K1 taking 2 IS-7s, even killing one. I mean, it's an S-Kunk, bro. It's yeah, well, it's an S-Kunk. He has like 200, 300 meters where he's just shooting you the whole time. Conrad deciding to, in the middle, be a chat and be like, okay, man, for me with your T100, it takes you a minute to kill me. I'm just going to shoot the S-Kunks and the CS for a while. They also pushed the CS into A6 immediately as well to prevent an S. It was great. It was actually great.
Yeah, well executed attack by the team of Pozdro, and you can see, like, Tim Fed, yeah, he did go down, but at what cost? 4.4k damage we'll see over here. Yeah, sort of a weird game for the Phoenix players to play, but then again, that was well done, well executed by Pozdro. Kind of a rough time to start into this match here for the international team. Yeah, and I mean, almost perfect, 11, 10, 10, maybe one blind shot in there. Timfed just doing exactly what he was supposed to. Conrad, the same thing. I mean, 2.6k damage there. And as you said, as you pointed out, he doesn't really care if he gets farmed into the back, if he, at the same time, is taking up the T100's time and also dealing damage on the tanks that could actually drive towards the cap. Because, well, that's what won them the game. The cap going through and no one from Phoenix even being close to there. The only tank that was trying to decap was the S-Kong that just got picked up in the middle of nowhere, like in one of those ditches west of the rails. And yeah, well played to Pozdro. I mean,
really good start from Pozdro.
There is not much more to say. Then again, you said that they read them, sort of, because the triple IS-7 was pushing down.
No, they definitely read them.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, that was basically lost by opening for the side of Phoenix, or rather won by strategy for Pozdro, if you're so inclined.
Yeah, I mean, it was just good. It was just good. I mean, it was a good round from Pozdro, man. It's just a good read. I think Phoenix lost completely on opening. It was over. So it was over from the first 10 seconds of the game. Like,
as soon as they decide to go where they go, and Pozdro opens like they do, it's done. Like,
yeah, there's so many things there. Like I said, S-Kunk in K1, right? You have to take 2 tanks to push him. Normally you take the T100 as well. to just kill him as quickly as possible. But this time around, the T100 is farming Conrad because Conrad is just sitting in the middle and he does not care. He's shooting the CS, he's shooting the S-Skunk, the other S-Skunk. They want to go reset, Conrad is going to shoot him. And the only one that can shoot him really was the T100. Then on top of that, you have the CS that committed into A6, right? You have the CS committed into A6, which shoots you every single step of the way. As soon as you leave the ditch until you get to the rails to actually reset, he's shooting you. And you have the 277 there also on the rail that is also shooting you. There's zero way back into the cap. And, you know, if you have to use 2 tanks to kill a Conqueror in
and
K1,
one of them dies even. And
one of them dies even.
He bled the other one, like he did.
And the T100 is also stuck, shooting a I7. So you have 3 tanks stuck, killing 2. It is no way back. This was a good round from Postro. It's a bit risky, of course, but, you know.
I mean, sometimes it does pay off. Now sides are going to be swapped. It's going to be Postro on the defense, but looking how comfortable they seem just taking an aggressive stance. Maybe they're not even going to play some kind of passive defense, or they're just going to, you know, completely switch it up and pose different kind of challenges towards the Phoenix players. It is going to get answered rather soonish. Map video suggesting that we're going to get gameplay soon, but man, after the first round, to be honest, if you get stomped that hard, because I think that's what just happened in the first round. I don't think that even like takes a toll on you mentally as a player, because like you're like, yeah, we lost an opening. There was nothing we could have done. I mean, just go next. What are you supposed to do?
Nothing.
Because if you lose like on RNG, or if you lose like on...
No, I know, but this was just a clean round.
Yeah.
It's like a clear-cut round, 100%.
I don't think it's gonna... Yeah. Anyway, Phoenix, double I7, double 2771, S-Kong, double CS.
Pulsar, though, 4 S-Kongs, a T100, a CS, and a 277. That is a lot of hold-on.
That is a lot of hold-on tanks. The thing to keep in mind, though, is Postro has a light tank, while Phoenix does not. So Phoenix, obviously, more combat guns in the game in that regard. But Postro is going to get the spotting advantage. That being said, the CSs are pretty good at denying the middle runs, because they're also so fast. But most of the time, they're not even being sent there, because after like trying to deny the T100 in the middle, what do? Instead... what year is it? Is it Kazna playing?
Oh my god, the full team 2-1-2. The issue here, there's a big issue, by the way.
Yeah, it's called
CS?
Kono.
Yeah, no, the CS from E6 spots the rails.
Oh, he sees them already.
Yeah. So CS from E6 spots the rails, right? The rails crossing, and he didn't see anything crossing. And Kono spotted everything in the middle, saw nothing. Bro, this is...
Choo-choo does the train.
Man, I don't want to be negative Nancy.
What is the opposite of negative Nancy? Positive Peter?
Positive Andy.
Okay. I thought it was...
Wait, they're turning! They're turning! Sir, they're going the other way! Okay, I like it actually. Not sticking to their guns and moving. Maybe the dumpster onto the middle would be...
I mean, they would get 2 guns immediately if they do it. Frugo taking one, putting one into Orzek, and that is a lot of guns that are actually trained onto the tanks by Postro. The collapse starting to happen. 7 combat guns here onto Orzek and Timfet. The focus fire not quite there yet. Orzek getting rammed by Frugo, and now only Timfet remaining there, but it's Postro in turn laying down the law onto the players by Phoenix that have pushed onto the double tank by Postro.
Yeah, but those tanks from Postro are doing a lot of damage, though. They are going to pick up Frugo as well, and Lip in return in that Conk 1.5, taking T100 of Kono behind him as well. He's going to have a rough game there for the rest of this time. Now the CSs are trying to counter Kubash and Conrad, but Magic and White Rock don't really have a choice but to continue pushing on towards Profuse. But Profuse is supported by another S-Kong from A2. Frugo now falling, and White Rock and Magic don't really have a choice anymore on what to do, but they also don't have an S-Kong in support, because Kono is holding down the fort there against Lip in the S-Kong, and Profuse even doing a good number in blocking. It did look like something there for the side of Phoenix, but as the dust settles, there's a massive lead for Postro, like insane lead actually.
Yeah, I mean, the full HP light tank, even if the HP were kind of close, a full HP light tank is just such a valuable asset to have in the late game on Prokhorovka. But it's not even gonna get
The
close. I mean,
ignite
yeah,
from Konrad.
Konrad is gonna get set on fire. Not that it really matters.
No, he said I took some fire to kill him.
but like it's 3v3 still,
Yeah.
but Jose
And
still
Kono
full
killed
HP.
Lip.
And Kono, yeah, starting to finish off his side of the map. Kubash, possible one-shot onto White Rock here, 407. That's not too much of a high roll. Horse is now gonna get pulled because they know the time's ticking. Kono is coming from the sidelines. It's gonna be Horse driving in there. Oh, trading it out better than I initially anticipated. Now getting tracked though. The collapse is coming. And yeah, they're gonna get eye for an eye as they ram each other to death.
Think, Key, with me. Do you think it would have been better if the S-Kong just kept driving to go to F7 instead of peeking the middle? One. And would you think it would have been better if they did a death ball instead of the CSs crossing over the rail and just kept going? Overrun the first S-Kong, overrun the second S-Kong, push onto the A6 S-Kong.
To be honest, there is so much open ground that they have to clear.
Bro, but there's so much open ground for the IS-7s anyway. Like, if the IS-7s are getting shot at with the CSs at that point, it doesn't matter, no?
Yeah. Maybe...
You're getting shot at by the tank no matter what.
Yeah.
I think if the CSs just keep going with the IS-7s, they kill the Kongs, right? And then they can potentially dead ball over the Profuse Kong and then continue over the rails again. Would it work? God knows, but...
Yeah, I think as soon as the T100 saw them all, the jig was kind of up, and they were committed, even though they hadn't really left the red line yet. And yeah. I mean, in the end, there's two sides to it. Also well played to the Postro guys for just reacting perfectly. Even though it was a 7 versus 5 scoreline at the end, it was, I don't think, close. So, gotta give credit where credit's due. Postro 2-0 up against Phoenix, deservedly so. 2 quick rounds where the Polish team seemed firmly in control. Now, however, we are switching maps. We're headed to Mines, and this one is actually Phoenix's map pick now.
Yeah, Phoenix's map pick being Mines, but so far I think Postro is not looking too shaken from their earlier defeat. Let's put it that way.
No. They rather look motivated by it, if anything.
Yeah, I think they were just came out really strong into their first round. The second round, they also just did. It wasn't the most impressive thing they ever did, but it was still solid, right? And they started off like that, and that makes me worried for Mines.
We'll have to see. Magic, one of the Phoenix players, has actually written extensive Discord DMs as to how he thinks or wants to actually play Mines. Like, he has a lot of it planned out. We are gonna.
But plans are one thing, man.
Yeah, like the plan.
In my plans, I win every round.
Yeah, yeah. But the plans only last until the first contact with your opponent. That's how it is. Because then you need to react. And if you didn't plan for an occurrence, if you didn't plan for the triple yo, then you know, sometimes you tend to get surprised, even positively in case of the triple yo.
Oh. Key hand and the Yom. And I was thinking back to what you said, man. It's awful. Actually awful. I would like to extend an apology to the entire audience that you sometimes have to listen to Key hand's jokes.
I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah, of course he's not. But, he works for White Gaming. They never apologize for anything.
I apologize for the mistakes that I do, but that was entirely intentional.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I apologize for the mistakes that I do. However, I just don't make mistakes.
Oh, no one's perfect.
Yeah, but you're pretty close to it.
Aw, what's the catch here?
There's no catch, dude. See, I'm just going to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, this time.
You never know what's coming next.
Nope.
Are you worried now?
Yeah, actually.
Don't worry, there's nothing coming. Let's focus on Minesky, and it's okay. You have time to recover.
We'll have to see if Phoenix also recovers, because right now being down 2-0 and not really looking good on Prokhorovka looked kind of harsh, not gonna lie. Phoenix now coming into this one with quadruple IS7, 1 S-Conk, double CS.
In Pothro, double M4, double I7, a mouse, and double CS.
All right.
Phoenix lineup screams attack, right?
Yes, it should normally, because on attack, why would you take the mouse? Like maybe make a shield, but
for a TVP perhaps. Ever seen a shield for a TVP on the cap #1?
I seem to recall something happening earlier today.
Yeah, exactly. So.
All right, Itox and Horse in their CSs are going to make it up. Profu's not going to be able to put a shot in there. And already, something that we saw in group stage, Phoenix is going to divert a lot of heavy tanks. This time, though, not towards the 9 line, which Postro might be expecting. Instead, they're sending them on towards the 1-2 line. Phoenix and Postro on the hill exchanging proxy spots with the mouse and the CS. And yeah, Magic is going to go, the full rotation going to go on towards the 1 line where we see Conrad is going to be waiting for him.
I think you see Conrad here even using the speed governor, him and Frugo spotting each other out. So they have an IS-7 established on 1-2. Of course, an IS-7 is a lot harder to deal with than a CS, right? Because the health pool, chance of bouncing.
And it actually has the turret with which it can continuously spot you out. Conrad taking the bush on the lower side once again, though. So trying to see if there is more commitment by the I7. There was a time window during which the Phoenix players could have crossed and not be spotted. But that time window seems to now have passed.
Yeah, but it should be pretty easy to figure out that Conrad is here, though.
Oh, Kono's position. Is Postro actually expecting like an 8-line rush with the IS-7s to then have Kono in crossfire?
It's like IS-7's pushing 8 lines, CS is pushing past. This has happened before.
Okay, Artiquel and Frugo both joining up with Lip now. If they go completely like at the stones, do they?
No, I think they're gonna blind fire it, dude.
Ooh.
We should see from their first person to really know.
Yeah, maybe
what they're aiming at.
Maybe we'll get a first person onto Frugo, but I don't think, like, Artiquel and Lip, they are not really aiming here. And, yeah.
No, they stopped, because Conrad got spotted. I think they were aiming, and then they stopped.
Yep. So now triple IS-7, I mean, that's good for Phoenix in the sense that their IS-7 rotation is not gonna get, like, revealed. Then again, we don't know yet if it's good for them in the way that this is probably going to drive them to push the 1-2 line. Like, this is what they're for.
Okay, what shoots 1-2? Mouse, maybe. IS-7, yes. Perfus. Conrad, yes. Kubash, yes. Fed, yes. And Yosi might have time to do a shot.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how soon Conrad spots them. Also, I think Conrad could just, you know, fall back and then drive towards the, like, 2 line.
He can't. Because the CS is coming for that exact purpose.
Okay.
You always put somebody to counter the 2 line for that exact reason.
Well, Magic and Conrad exchanging spots. This in turn means that the triple IS-7 that Phoenix has to boot. Oh, the CS63 on the lower side already got spotted. Not exactly sure by whom, but he's going to take a shot by Kubash. And now also the IS-7s are spotted. That is very, very early. And you can see the damage that is raining down into Lip, down to 439 with his IS-7. That's a one-shot for Conrad, possibly. Conrad staying alive, doing a good job, even killing Lip here.
Yeah, now Kono crossing over to help out Kubash. Conrad still surviving. The CS is crossing. They want to take that 2v2 there. Now the hill repush coming as well, though. Perfus, Orchek, Yosi moving their way towards the hill. Itox is not able to kill Conrad right now, and he's going to need some help then of Magic probably to kill this IS-7. But the hill repush is going to hurt here for the side of Phoenix, as there is so much HP still for the boys of Postro to actually push that. Now Magic pushing into Conrad is the correct play. Frugo needs to be careful not to die in return. Horse and Whiterock, I mean, Horse is probably going to bail off the hill, but I don't think Whiterock can make it off of that position without dying, and Horse is going to be fine. White Shock is going to try, probably. I would guess he's going to try to drop off. Does he die for this? No. Actually, only takes a little amount of damage. But in the meantime, though, Kono killed Attila. I mean, Frugo went for... I don't know what. Actually, what he went for. Like,
Yeah.
he went on a scenic route around the map. And it's 6,000 difference.
I mean, 6,000 different magic doesn't seem to have a repair kit anymore to take back his ammo rack down to 98. Kono still unscathed, still full HP basically here. He's gonna pick up magic and now only Frugo remaining. This attack here by Phoenix is just completely falling to pieces. You can see Yosi going down, auto aim, but he does connect his shot. Takes a huge amount of damage, but at this point in the game, it doesn't even matter anymore. The mouse thinking about dropping down as well.
Do it or check. Do it or check.
Uh,
Drive off the hill anyways or check.
yeah,
Come on.
do it or kick. Oh,
Huh?
he's no.
Do it or Kihan removes your account.
Oh? No, I would
Huh?
never. I would never. Anyway, Postro with a very, very solid defense with good answers towards the mines attack by Phoenix here. That basically was over before it started because the amount of punishment dealt onto those crossing IS-7s, it was brutal. It was...
Good shooting.
Yeah,
Really
good shooting is, I guess, the most positive thing we could say about it because, yeah, that was hard to watch.
It's painful.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I need somebody to talk to after this.
And just like that, after 3 matches in which basically we went to tiebreaker, now for the first time today, we are looking at the possibility of a clean sweep because Postro 3, Phoenix 0 means we're looking at match point. Phoenix, however, now they are going to be defending on mines. So at least they got that going.
Looking at the positive side, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, whatever positive side there is left. Because so far, like, I don't want to trash talk the guys from Phoenix, but, like, Postro has seemed like the better team with a better plan by far. In the 3 rounds that we have seen.
Yeah, Postro is just playing really, really, really well right now.
Yep. I mean, there's nothing really... Like, normally there's always something to criticize, even if someone wins a round. Honestly, I think the reactions were just perfect by Postro here. Like, there is nothing bad to say, which is a scary prospect if you're the team playing against them, really. Because in the end, World of Tanks is a game of mistakes and exploiting those mistakes that the enemy makes. And if your enemy...
In 10 years at Dietkiha, that's gonna be my quote. World of Tanks was a game. Was a game. It was a mistake.
Okay, now you're actually just taking my words.
They'll be like, where did you go wrong? Well, listen, when I was a young boy,
Ah.
easily influenced, my friend sent me this Tanks game. He quit after 100 battles, and I never got out.
That's not what I meant at all.
Yeah, sure, man. Who's your... Oh, yeah, Eek is your direct boss. I'm going to send it to him, this clip. Hope he's watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
World of
he
Tanks is
actually
a game of
watching.
mistakes.
Okay, bro.
E2023, World of Tanks is a game of mistakes.
And exploiting you're literally just taking the part of the sentence that makes sense for you. You're taking it out of context.
I think that everybody understands what that part of the sentence
bro.
means, bro. I mean, you said it, not me.
But you didn't even take the second part of the sentence that would give the context to what I was trying to express here.
I think the first part gives all the context.
I feel misunderstood here. I just have to put it out there.
I am glad you're finally showing your true self.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, I think we're about to head into what might be the last game of the day here. Phoenix now on their defense. They have their work cut out for them. They're looking at match point. They haven't won a round so far. Maybe they're going to start now with double M454, double IS-7, and triple CS.
Pulsar in return with the double M4, the triple 277, the E5 actually and the CS, and this might indeed be the last game of the day, but also the last game in Kia's casting career if he keeps making statements.
Okay.
It's like what he just did. So I kind of got a keck by for Kia. I'm hearing the PR department in the background already be like, yeah.
I think you're trying to just create drama where there is none. However, drama is probably also going to happen in this game here, as Kubash is the one to try to take the hill for Postro here. Itox and Arctic will also come, and Kubash opting not for the block here onto the double CS by Phoenix. Each side trading a shot of damage, but now the heavy tanks are going to start arriving. And to be honest, if I had to choose positions, it would be the ones from the attacking sides here that do have double M454, that do have double 277 hold down. Lip taking a beating, trying to get to the stone.
Yeah, Lip taking more than a beating. Lip on 500 HP, and I think will be the moment for Pozdro where they try and take the fight, but Conrad in return, the leader there, taking a brunt of damage. Now they're finally coming for Lip. Yosi has to waste his alpha on that though. Conrad falls. Kono is falling soon. Fed in that E5, just going for the freedom push across the open for democracy, as Kubash is now farming from the hill, but Profus in return not having a good time. Fed actually not having a good time either against the double CS from the hill, and as Profus is probably going to fall here against the guns of Magic and White Rock. No, Kubash saving him for just a second more. I think it is still looking rather unlikely that the boys from Phoenix are able to throw this one, as Frugo killing the E5 means that they have a CS to deal with in their side. Attila now peeking out as well. Yosi wants to get the finish line. Attila with the snap. Yo, Attila. Beautiful. See, you like what I did there? I incorporated your joke, dude.
Even though there isn't even an MVY, but yeah, Ozek takes a low roll by White Rock, but White Rock is gonna finish it off with the Ram. Itox is gonna finish off Kubash. And finally, Ducky, we have a match on our hand. Phoenix are gonna secure the victory on their Mines defense.
I think that if they just took all the tanks after they shot Lip and pushed, they win the game. I think that there's an opportunity there for them to use the CS that he could drop from the hill, or he could just push with them, because the CS are going to shoot any. And you take the ball and just push. You have a massive HP lead. But then they peaked and then traded the same on Conrad, basically, right?
Yeah, and we can see here with the damage done that basically that the tanks that have the DPM on the side of Phoenix, those are the M454s, but those are also the CSs, because they're mediums. Like, mediums most of the time tend to have higher DPM than their heavy counterparts. And the longer you're able to keep them in the fight, the less it matters that you're starting off with an alpha disadvantage, because as soon as that DPM starts kicking in, and also if you're having sort of lowish alpha, which in the case where you're having to pick up low HP targets actually favors you, because you're going to reload quicker. And yeah, Itox 4.9k damage.
The way it works, Key, is so you have the E5 in the cubby, right? And the analysts can disagree or agree with me later. I personally don't care. Is that you?
Oh yeah, they could agree, they could disagree. I don't care, man.
I mean, it's true. I said what I said, and I stand by it.
Are you gonna say unlike you?
I mean, you said it yourself,
no,
I guess you already know.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You don't even have to say it, like if you're saying it yourself. But anyways, so you have the E5 in the cubby and the 6 tanks in the middle, right? You have 5 tanks. You use the E5 from the cubby, right, Key, to come towards the hill entrance, and you push everything else. Before that already. So the E5 can force the CSs to push on him, or he just DPMs them, right? Yep. And you use everything else to kill the tanks in the middle, because Lip should only be able to do 1 shot. Max 2 indeed, but it's also some stuff like, what is the worst tank to use to finish an M4?
Yeah, an M4, because it
has
M4. The highest alpha.
560, but Yosi had to kill him now. If the 277s just went in when Conrad was peeking instead, and they swarm, because of the damage on Lip, they will win that fight, because they might take the same amount back, but it doesn't matter anymore, because they're always going to be ahead in that regard. And I think they straight up win from that point, because they have the E5 and the CS that can just fight the CSs on the hill. So the CSs either shoot the tanks in the middle, go kill the CS, or go kill the E5. It's super... They wouldn't... Itox would never do 4.7k then. Never.
Yeah, I mean, most of the damage that he did, he was doing onto the heavy tanks that were trying to sort of eliminate the enemy heavy tanks, but he just had 3 shots also. That E5, I think, on the cross took 2 Amaraks.
Yeah, but
so...
it's also like if you just like that's why the E5 shouldn't be pushing the 3 line. You should be going towards the hill and use everything else to just push past. Because once you get past the corner, what does the CS do? Like I said, he either pushes the hill, he pushes the E5. All of them are bad scenarios.
Yep. But like this, I guess it's actually fortunate for us because we're gonna get more gameplay here. This time it's gonna be Morovanka map number 3 in between Phoenix and Pozdro. And well, Phoenix just won a map, or rather won a round, but the facts don't change. Pozdro is still on match point. Phoenix has to fend that one off with an M454, double IS7, 1 mouse, 1 S-Conk, and double CS.
Double CS to finish it off against the T100 actually from Postro. Double S-Conk, a IS7, and the triple M4. So they're opting for the T100 on Muro. I haven't seen that much anymore.
Has sort of fallen out of favor since the map changes, because I think a lot of teams are just trying to play it over the 1 cap now very, very aggressively. Where a T100, yeah, it can be a nice addition, but having a combat gun in the game is going to be even better. But now Pozdro here switching it up, sending the T100 immediately towards the forest. Ooh, he does get spotted by Horse, but obviously Horse in speedy mode is never going to hit those. And the T100 even looking for some blood in the water here. Is he going to try and shoot? Not for the time being, but Kono, extremely aggressive spotting run, and Horse.
But look at Phoenix there, just pushing down the 2 line.
Yeah.
This is, who did this? Upor, right? Did this as well.
Was it Holovnitsi?
No. Yeah, it was Holovnitsi, dude. It was Holovnitsi just pushing down 1-2. It's only 3 times, though.
It's only...
I don't know if 3 is enough.
Yeah, and the thing is, Profuse isn't spotted yet, and he's just gonna farm those IS-7s in the side, but they need to keep going to take out Timfet.
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice at this point. I completely agree with you, and they're just gonna take shot after shot on the cross. You can see 2 salvos, Magic already down to 1200. Now, finally, they're gonna be able to start shooting onto Timfet, who's done a beautiful job of staying hold down up until now. Magic is gonna be the focus for Timfet here, who repairs his Amarak, but now Profuse is gonna start trading it out against Lip. White Rock trying to come to assist, and the thing is, Phoenix, they haven't even spotted that rotation by Pozdro.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake from Pozdro. It's always a mistake. In every single game we've ever seen this, it's a mistake. Because Fed dies, which means you lose A3, and when A3 dies, Profuse dies, so when you repush like this, you're driving into a crossfire. It's over. Like, it's legitimately over.
Oh god, 2k HP down already for Pozdro, who are now sending their M4s over the open field to try to take out that corner. Conrad dropping down towards a one-shot, even the T100 getting pulled into the fight, but it's going to be White Rock to pick up Conrad here, and you can see the HP, they are just draining for the team in yellow, same as the guns. 3 already picked up, finally a kill to answer. But I agree with you, this game is pretty much over.
It's a mistake from Pozdro, 1-1. You don't have a choice but to give up the 1-2 line at that point and play off of the T100 on the cap. Is it awful because you're down 2 tanks? Probably, yes. Is it the only choice? Also, yes. When you do this, you are never making it back.
Are they gonna do the next push over the open, by the way? Okay, Yosi dying now, because there was like this tiny sort of copium window
there's
where...
like a few things there. With them being so late on rotating, they should not rotate at all and just play over the forest and play the cap. But also the T100 of Kono spots the entire K line, which means that they know that there's nothing in the forest. Which also means that they could be pushing out 1-2, which means the M4 should be turning straight around and rotating to be there at C3. This push dies. Second of all, there's a thing, what a lot of teams do, or what teams did in the past at least, is that you put both the S-Kongs in A3 to begin with, and you just don't care.
Yep. And then you're Gucci, right? If both of the S-Kongs
if
are
both
there.
If both the S-Kongs are in A3, you are never in trouble against this ever in your life. Because you just kill the first IS-7.
Yeah, you deal the same amount of damage on the cross,
the issue is that Profuse is farming, but he's farming and not contributing HP, because as soon as A3 falls, Profuse falls. It's always the way. A3 dies, Profuse dies.
Alright, so after a quick 3-0, instead now, ooh, good shot here by Lip, but he's still gonna get picked up here by Kono. That is trying to prolong the game. I mean, they're probably going to be talking about the next round anyway. Yeah, he's not going to prolong it anymore, but after a quick 3-0, Phoenix putting 2 rounds on the board in quick succession, we now find ourselves at a 2-3. And Phoenix gets to attack on Morovanka now. So, I mean, we were sort of, you know, trying to find any kind of silver lining for Phoenix after the 3-0, because let's be real, up until then, Pozdro had played an absolutely amazing match. Like, there was no fault to be found anywhere. And now Phoenix, they put the pedal to the metal and I guess, you know, started playing better.
Like Kihan said, World of Tanks is a game of mistakes, and Pozdro made a few in this game.
And then those mistakes got exploited.
Are you adding like a disclaimer, bro?
Yeah.
Insane is 100% making a soundboard out of you saying World of Tanks is a game of mistakes.
Don't worry, it's not going to be only insane. There is going to be a lot of people pretty happy that I said it like this, I guess. All right, that repush, by the way, with the M4s over the open. I think probably at that point, once they started driving over the open and got farmed, they probably realized that the mistake that you're in, but sometimes even if it is a fail call, if you execute it properly regardless, then it's going to be better than second guessing yourself and dying either way. So, yeah, 2-3 in between Phoenix and Pozdro.
Bro, 4 tiebreakers one day, let's go.
I mean, first of all, we need Phoenix to win another round. Then again, I think I predicted 4-2 for Pozdro. So...
I predicted 4-1, and it would have been pretty accurate if they just rotated on Muro. Bro, they're not in the forest. Where would they be? They don't have a lot. It's like, there's like a few insta losses key, in my mind, in Muro. If the enemy team is not contesting 6-0 line and you have a T100, they lose. Like, it's impossible to hold because the T100 just free caps every single time and they have nothing to spot it outside of a CS YOLOing, which just dies. So the only option is to push 1-2.
Which they did.
Which you can always rotate back for on time.
Or even if, like, the S-Kong is also in A3, as you pointed out.
But the triple M4 just turns around, goes back on top of the hill, on where the Profuse was, and the game's over.
I mean, it gifts us at least one more round here in between both of those teams. I am stoked to see what Phoenix is going to bring to their attack. Also, I think Pozdro, they sort of thought they were in safety, I guess, after winning the first 3 rounds. Now, I mean, they're not in the biggest of troubles yet, but you don't want to go to tiebreaker. You just don't. You want to close it out in regular time just to not run the risk of actually being eliminated from the tournament. So, yeah. Phoenix attack with 1 M4 54 IS7, double S-Kong at double CS.
And Pozdro in return, SCRV, CS, S-Kong, Mouse, IS7, and an M4 that's pretty heavy.
That is pretty heavy. That STRV, is it gonna go to the position where we saw the Udas earlier? What do you think?
It might. I think he might just more likely play... No. I think he just plays on the 3 line to start with.
Phoenix, first of all, seems to be very intent on going towards that 1 cap, though. Obviously, they have double mediums, so a slightly more mobile lineup compared to Pozdro. Then again, that STRV, he doesn't spot anything. Double IS7, Conrad and Kubash, both of them getting sent towards the forest. That is pretty good for Pozdro, actually, because yes, the IS7s are not going to be able to contribute their HP, but they will have the angles onto the cap, where 1 CS is already in there. Kono has taken a shot of damage, but if the IS7s get to the church, then no one is going to be safe in that cap.
Yeah, that's why a lot of teams started playing 6-0 line now, right? With a few tanks, like you have the Mouse pushing onto the church, you then have the STRV covering, Profuse and Yosi playing 1-2 line, Profuse is even going to push up to the building, which is all good and well. Kono covering from the back, and then you'll have the IS7s getting the reset angle on towards Frugo.
And not only the IS7s, the Mouse as well. I mean, 16
seconds.
Or
Check is going to, like, they got, Phoenix has to push.
Yep. Phoenix has to overpush now because that would be triple heavy tank by the team of Postro out of the game. The problem though being that the STRV is just gonna start farming now against those pushed up tanks by Phoenix, who are now down 4 KHP. Yes, Profuse is probably gonna be the first to fall, but at what cost is the question.
Bro, Fed is just having the time of his life as he's popping off shot after shot after shot into these Phoenix tanks. And the Phoenix may rise from its ashes, but it has to turn into ashes first for that, which is, I think, is happening right to them right now. I mean, yeah, Yozi's kind of alone on 1-2 line, but then again, not really, because he has Kono in the CS behind him. Fed now has to readjust, back off, get a different angle. But look at how much this is costing the boys from Phoenix to kill this, and they still don't have an answer for Kono. I mean, Attila here, Giga child play onto the STRV, might just even ram him. He says, Fed, what's up, bro? Yeah, that is a big ram. If he backs up and does it again, he will one-shot him after that. Like that's what he does now. He goes back and then one-shot him. But in return, though, Lip getting pressured by Orchek, Conrad, and Kubash. Even the mouse is now on the outside as the STRV falls. If they find Kono,
Max
though,
roll by Lip. Max roll.
Kono.
Yeah.
Look at Kono.
Kono.
If they find him, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Attila should be turning
It's
around
7
now
tanks.
in his IS-7. 7 tanks, you pointed it out, still alive for the side of Phoenix. Kono sort of caught out in the open. He has nowhere to run, he has nowhere to hide. Itox coming from the side with his M454. He's probably going to put a big one into Kono that now is on a 2-shot. Yes, Kono starts trading back, but a lot of the HP by Postro is actually on that mouse that can't really make the plays. Oh, good focus fire here by Kono to reduce Magic towards a 1-shot. Itox reducing him towards a 1-shot in return. Magic is going to get picked up by Kono though, so that is 4 against 6 right now, with Itox making it a 3 against 6. We're gonna have to see that mouse. Ozek, he's got to do it all, but the thing is, he's a mouse on Moravanka. What's he supposed to do?
Bro, they just couldn't kill anybody. They couldn't kill anybody. Look at the HPs. I mean, Horse is a 1-shot, Whiterock's a 1-shot, Attila Lip, they're 2 shots. Really good play from Attila to go ram into the STRV because he was ruining them. And yeah, I mean, Conrad and Kubash have to push now on towards this guy.
Ooh.
Nice kill
Well
from Lip
played,
there
Lip.
as well. And Phoenix is actually going to do it. 4 tiebreakers in a row, bro. Oi, oi.
I mean, the maximum of, oh come on, Attila. But yeah, maximum amount of content of games and rounds in one day, as Phoenix is gonna convert their Moravanka attack, making the score 3-3. All even in between Phoenix and Postro. And the only other question remaining besides who is going to win this match is now, first of all, who is getting to pick tiebreaker's side?
I don't know. Postro apparently is going to pick the tiebreaker side. On what map again? I forgot.
I think it was Himmels. I don't want to speak too soon. First of all, let's take a look at...
Magic on 0 damage?
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Lip
he
doing
was
6k though?
he was providing emotional support, you know. Yeah, Timfed. I mean, there wasn't really anything he could do once the IS-7 started pushing him, but yeah, Magic.
Honestly though, I think Fed could have run away.
Maybe, yeah.
It would have to be whoever's leading for Postro saying that he has to run away. But if he falls back to like K-line after he stopped getting shots, he would have been better. But that's hindsight 100 though. Like,
yeah, exactly. Now, map pick and bans. Oh, it wasn't actually Himmelsdorf. I was misled. It was Tundra that's gonna be the tiebreaker in between Phoenix and Postro. And yeah, Postro chose a defense after that very, very quick Prokhorovka attack, which...
defense on Tundra is,
yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, bad timing can be bad. And Tundra is one of those maps where that can happen. We'll see.
Okay, put your money where you think this match is going after watching 6 rounds.
Honestly, phew. I think Postro's gonna do it.
You really have the guts to say that after all of this?
I mean, what do you think is gonna happen?
Well, I think Pozdro's gonna win.
Yeah, you think it's going to be Phoenix? I honestly, at this point, like, after Pozdro going up 3-0, I was like, yeah, okay, quick 4-0 to finish off the day. Now we're not at a 4-0, but instead we're at a 3-3 scoreline. So nominally you would give the momentum to Phoenix. Then again, Pozdro got to pick the side on Tundra that they're most comfortable or more comfortable with, apparently. So I think it's a 50-50 either way, to be honest. Like, at this point, anything is possible.
Expect the unexpected. Did you know that everybody in Uganda knows Kung Fu?
Is that a meme I'm not aware of?
Yeah, bro, wait, you don't know that one?
No, I don't.
Oh my god. You're so old.
I actually don't, man. And what do you mean so old? I'm not even 30 yet, okay?
Yet, but how long is it now? Not long, right?
Less than a month, actually.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, I can hear Train 3 already show up.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here, Key.
I mean, yeah, we'll see for which of the two teams it's going to be downhill from here, by the way, because Phoenix seemed in a steady decline until Pozdro, started not winning rounds anymore, or instead Phoenix, with the upwards trend, once again, the predictions, I mean, all of us completely in shambles, and the only good thing is that whatever happens, at least one of us got the team correct. Got to look at the upside here. whatever of the upside is actually left, because it's not a lot.
Smite.
But yeah. What we do know already is that this is going to be the last round of the day, in between Phoenix and Pozdro. Both of them trying to stay alive in the AMD WoT7 number 9 tournament. And I think we're about to see it start here. Phoenix on their attack, coming out with double M454, 1 IS7, 1 S-Conk, double CS, and the Minotauro.
Pozdro, though, in return, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 M4s.
In the
and then
store.
there's a Then there's an S-Kong by Fed, a VC by Konrad, and 60 DP by Yosi.
So 7 heavy tanks being brought by the Polish team, the international team choosing for double medium 1 TD. Rest is going to be heavy tanks as well. This is going to translate into an HP lead for the defenders, for the Bananas, for Pozdro here of almost 1000 HP. And now a very south-heavy, or exclusively south-heavy opening by Phoenix, sending Attila to the standard spot with the CS. He's gonna fell a bush. But then again, he should be seeing the M4 and also the 60 TP before they are able to blind fire this one. Is he pre-aimed for Yosi? He should be, but he doesn't get a shot off.
He just prefers spotting.
I mean, he just won information for his team. And now...
Sometimes the most important players are the ones that do the least damage, Keyhand. We call them game-winning players. A unique breed of players in World of Tanks that plays for the win. Often found by themselves on the field side of Ensk.
All right, Phoenix starting to group up for that victory that they're looking for, but the question is, are Pozdro going to let them one shot taken somewhere else on the map by Profuse? But now the Phoenix players are actually going to get spotted. Magic out in the open horse. Ozek choosing to fire onto Magic when instead he could have done the more easy damage onto the M4s. Is going to take one in return. Kubaj as well taking a shot here. Pozdro starting with the rotations, but that HP lead that I was talking about, completely obliterated.
Yeah, and Yosi, you're just not going to have a good time in that 60 TP. It's going to be a 60 goodbye in a second as Magic, the FC, leading the charge. Frugo, Horus, Lip, following in quick succession as Yosi gets swarmed by the boys from Phoenix, who seem to have a pretty good idea of how to play here. But here comes Pozdro in return as well. Yosi still loading that shot, gets it out in the nick of time. 826 to compensate for his first low roll. Orchek now coming in, leading the charge, gives one on towards Magic. Then Profuse coming around the corner, gives one as well. Konrad now coming with the 2 shell auto-loader, the VZ55. He connects both of them. Profuse now down towards a one-shot, though. Orchek to pick it up. And now Horse from 2 sides getting pincered as well. Profuse looking, not getting it. Horse with the high roll to finish off Profuse. Konrad now kind of stuck in no man's land himself, as the boys from Phoenix seem to have pulled Another remontada that is actually going to go through. Kubac has something to say about it, though, as he gets a shot in to finish off one of the guns. And Kono here with the body block, but that is not going to be enough, as Frugo might be a potential one-shot, but Lip there with some awesome shielding coming out as well, as White Rock picks up Conrad. Now Frugo is going to live, and can you believe it? Phoenix did rise from the ashes that looked to be this match. The remontada that bring it all the way back to a 4-3, keeping the international hopes for the team of Phoenix alive.
The full Polish festivities of a second day of WoT7 are gonna be halted momentarily, as Phoenix is gonna hold up that international flag. You mentioned it, Pozdro, one of the teams that have won tournaments in the past, that have proven that they're up to the task, being bested by Phoenix here. And yeah, I mean, you already outlined it. 3-0 up for Pozdro. Everything seemed clear. Everything seemed done and dusted. But then the cookie started crumbling.
Why they lost it. Now I understand why they lost against October. They can't even beat Phoenix.
Okay. That is just so incredibly toxic, by the way.
No, it's just, it's funny.
It's not toxic if it's true, I guess.
Wow. Whoa, I was just joking.
Okay.
Saying it's true, bro. Dude, man's first time analyst, and you go and say things like this, Key? Apologize.
I mean, we also gotta give him something to talk about.
He say sorry.
After...
He say sorry.
He remedied himself with his own performance there, but just so you stop, I'm sorry, Octo.
Yeah, see, there we go. Mino stopped damage though.
Yep,
I mean,
988.
somehow.
I think he got good shots onto the M454s that were crossing, that were trying to help tanks. So yeah, Itox with a good performance, and overall...
A good read from Phoenix though, if you think about it.
Like the mental fortitude required to go from a 0-3 and then make it in the tiebreaker 4-3. So yeah, congratulations to the team of Phoenix for staying alive. They're not going to be one of those teams that basically have one showing in the lower bracket and then out. Instead, we're going to see them tomorrow again. But I think before we head quite there tomorrow, by the way, 4 p.m. CET, tune in, don't miss the finals. Let's head over to the analysts and see what they have to say about this cracker of a match.
Welcome back to the analyst desk, and Octo, this is it for today. The last team taking the win is gonna be Phoenix with the complete reverse sweep. They were down 0-3 against Pozdro, and Pozdro actually being magnificent to the at throwing rounds. That was the case already in the win.